There exists within you at this very moment a power so profound, so magnificent, that when properly understood and applied, it renders failure not merely unlikely, but absolutely impossible. This power has been recognized by every great achiever throughout history, yet it remains hidden from the majority of humanity who continue to accept defeat as inevitable. What I am about to reveal to you has been tested by countless individuals who discovered that when you truly understand this principle, failure becomes nothing more than a temporary detour on the highway to inevitable success. The great industrialists, inventors, and leaders of our time have all possessed one common characteristic that separated them from those who struggled in mediocrity. They developed what I call the failure-proof mindset, a mental attitude so completely focused on success that their minds literally could not conceive of permanent defeat. When Thomas Edison conducted over 10,000 experiments before perfecting the incandescent lamp, he never once considered these attempts as failures. Instead, he viewed each experiment as valuable information that brought him closer to his inevitable triumph. Consider this profound truth. Your mind is the only thing in this universe over which you have complete, absolute control. The Creator has endowed you with this magnificent gift, yet most people surrender this control to circumstances, to other people, to fear, and to doubt. When you truly take possession of your mind and direct it with unwavering faith toward your definite major purpose, you create within yourself a mental atmosphere in which failure cannot survive. The secret lies not in avoiding obstacles or challenges, but in developing such complete certainty of your ultimate success that temporary setbacks become nothing more than stepping stones to greater achievement. Every adversity, every defeat, every disappointment carries within it the seed of an equivalent or greater benefit. The person who has conditioned their mind to act as though failure were never an option automatically begins searching for this seed of benefit, thus transforming what others would consider defeat into valuable experience and renewed determination. Throughout history, the most successful individuals have possessed this remarkable quality. They simply refused to accept failure as final. When others saw insurmountable obstacles, these exceptional people saw temporary challenges. When others gave up in despair, these champions found new ways to approach their objectives. They had trained their minds so thoroughly in the habits of success that the very concept of permanent failure was foreign to their thinking. This is not mere positive thinking or wishful hoping. This is a scientific principle based upon the fundamental truth that whatever the mind can conceive and believe, the mind can achieve. When you truly believe, with every fiber of your being, that your success is inevitable, your subconscious mind begins working day and night to make that belief a reality. It attracts to you the people, circumstances, and opportunities necessary for your triumph. The time has come for you to claim your birthright of success. You were not created to struggle in mediocrity or to accept defeat as your portion in life. Within you lies the same power that has driven every great achievement in human history. Today, you begin the process of conditioning your mind to act as though failure were never an option, because when properly understood, it never is. Your mind is like a garden that will grow whatever seeds you plant within it. Plant seeds of doubt, fear, and acceptance of failure, and your garden will produce a harvest of disappointment and defeat. But plant seeds of absolute faith in your inevitable success, water them daily with positive thoughts and constructive action, and you will reap a harvest beyond your grandest dreams. The person who acts as though failure is impossible attracts success like a magnet attracts iron filings. This individual moves with confidence, speaks with authority, and takes action with the absolute certainty that their efforts will be crowned with achievement. Others sense this aura of success and are naturally drawn to assist in its fulfillment. Opportunities that seem to elude those who doubt themselves readily present themselves to the person whose mind is conditioned for inevitable triumph. You must understand that this conditioning of your mind is not accomplished overnight. Like any skill worth developing, It requires consistent practice and unwavering dedication. Each day, you must feed your mind with thoughts of success, surround yourself with evidence of achievement, and take definite action toward your goals regardless of temporary obstacles or setbacks. Begin today to examine every thought that enters your mind. Refuse entry to any thought that accepts failure as possible. When temporary setbacks occur, and they will, immediately redirect your thinking toward the lesson to be learned and the benefit to be gained. Train yourself to see every experience, pleasant or unpleasant, as a stepping stone to greater success. The most successful people in every field of endeavor have mastered this art of mental conditioning. They have trained themselves to think only thoughts that serve their success, to speak only words that reinforce their faith in inevitable achievement, and to take only actions that move them closer to their definite major purpose. This is the foundation upon which all great success is built. Remember, failure is not an event but a judgment. What one person calls failure, another calls experience. What one person sees as defeat, another recognizes as redirection. The person who acts as though failure were never an option has trained themselves to make only judgments that serve their success. They have developed the wisdom to extract value from every experience and the faith to persist until their objectives are achieved. Your past does not determine your future unless you allow it to do so. Every day brings new opportunities to demonstrate your commitment to success. Every challenge presents a chance to prove that your faith in yourself is justified. Every setback offers the opportunity to show that you are made of the same material as the great achievers throughout history. The choice before you is simple yet profound. You can continue to accept failure as a possibility and live a life of mediocrity and unfulfilled potential, or you can make the decision today to condition your mind so completely for success that failure becomes an impossibility. The power to make this choice lies entirely within you, and no force on earth can prevent you from exercising this power if you choose to do so. When you truly grasp the magnitude of the power that lies within your own mind, you will understand why acting as though failure were never an option is not merely a positive attitude, but a practical necessity. Your mind, when properly directed, becomes the most powerful force in your world, capable of transforming any dream into reality, any vision into achievement, any desire into tangible results. The great secret that separates those who achieve lasting success from those who struggle through life in quiet desperation is this. Successful people have conditioned their minds to expect success as naturally as they expect the sun to rise each morning. They have made success such a habit of thought that failure cannot find a place to take root in their consciousness. This mental conditioning creates what might be called a success consciousness, a state of mind so completely attuned to achievement that it automatically rejects thoughts, influences, and actions that do not serve the attainment of definite goals. The person who possesses this consciousness moves through life with the quiet confidence of one who knows their destination and trusts completely in their ability to reach it. You possess within you at this very moment all the raw materials necessary to develop this success consciousness. You have been endowed with imagination to conceive great objectives, faith to believe in their achievement, persistence to continue when others give up, and the power of choice to direct your thoughts toward constructive ends. What remains is for you to organize these powers and focus them with laser-like intensity upon your definite major purpose. The development of the failure-proof mindset begins with a clear understanding of what you want to achieve. Vague hopes and general desires are insufficient to command the full power of your subconscious mind. You must be specific, definite, and unwavering in your determination to achieve your chosen objectives. Write down exactly what you intend to accomplish, set a definite time for its achievement, and determine precisely what you will give in return for its attainment. Once you have crystallized your desires into definite plans, you must feed your mind daily with thoughts that support the achievement of these plans. Read books that inspire confidence, associate with people who believe in your success, and engage in activities that move you closer to your objectives. Surround yourself with evidence of achievement and success until your mind accepts these conditions as natural and normal. The person who acts as though failure were never an option understands that thoughts become things through the mysterious power of the subconscious mind. They guard their thoughts as carefully as a miser guards his gold, allowing only those mental influences that support their success to take root in their consciousness. They understand that the mind is like a magnet, attracting circumstances and opportunities that correspond to the dominant thoughts it holds. When temporary defeats occur, as they occasionally must in any worthwhile endeavor, the person with the failure-proof mindset refuses to accept these setbacks as evidence that their goals are unattainable. Instead, they examine these experiences for the lessons they contain, extract whatever value can be found, and continue forward with renewed determination and increased wisdom. This attitude of persistence in the face of temporary setbacks is perhaps the most important characteristic of those who achieve outstanding success. The average person gives up at the first sign of opposition, but the person who acts as though failure were never an option views obstacles as opportunities to test and strengthen their resolve. They understand that every great achievement has been accomplished in spite of obstacles, not in their absence. The mind that is conditioned for inevitable success develops what might be called selective perception. It automatically focuses on opportunities while overlooking obstacles, emphasizes possibilities while ignoring limitations, and seeks solutions while others see only problems. This selective perception is not self-deception, but a practical focusing of mental energy on those elements that contribute to achievement. You must train yourself to think in terms of what you can do rather than what you cannot do, what you have rather than what you lack, where you are going rather than where you have been. This redirection of mental focus from limitation to possibility is the foundation upon which the failure-proof mindset is built. It transforms you from a person who reacts to circumstances into one who creates circumstances. The great secret of those who achieve lasting success is their understanding that failure is always a temporary condition unless you accept it as permanent. Every temporary defeat carries within it the potential for comeback. Every setback contains the seeds of future triumph. Every disappointment offers the opportunity for greater achievement. The person who acts as though failure were never an option has trained themselves to automatically look for these hidden benefits. This search for the seed of equivalent benefit in every adverse experience is not merely an exercise in positive thinking, but a practical method for extracting value from every situation. When Thomas Edison's laboratory burned to the ground, destroying years of work and millions of dollars in equipment, he told his son to call his mother because she would never again have the opportunity to see such a spectacular fire. The next morning, he was already making plans to rebuild, declaring that all his mistakes had been burned up and he could now start fresh. The person with the failure-proof mindset possesses this same ability to find advantage in disadvantage, to discover opportunity in obstacles, to extract wisdom from every experience, regardless of its immediate appearance. They understand that the Creator has so designed the universe that nothing is ever taken away without something of equal or greater value being made available in return. This principle of compensation operates automatically and continuously, but only those who look for its workings can benefit from its effects. The person who accepts defeat as final never searches for the compensating benefits and therefore never finds them. But the person who refuses to accept failure as possible automatically begins looking for the hidden advantages in every adverse experience. When you truly understand this principle, you will realize that acting as though failure were never an option is not merely a mental attitude, but a recognition of a fundamental law of the universe. Just as the law of gravity operates whether you understand it or not, the law of compensation operates whether you recognize it or not. The difference is that recognition allows you to work with this law consciously and systematically. The mind that is conditioned to expect success creates a mental atmosphere that attracts the people, circumstances, and opportunities necessary for achievement. Success-minded people are naturally drawn to others who share their positive outlook, creating what might be called a success magnetism that compounds the power of the individual mind through association with other success-oriented minds. This principle of attraction operates through what has been called the mastermind, the coordination of knowledge and effort between two or more people who work together in a spirit of harmony toward the achievement of a definite purpose. When you truly believe in your inevitable success, others sense this confidence and want to become part of your achievement. They offer their cooperation, their resources, their support because they recognize that association with a success-bound person benefits everyone involved. You must carefully choose your associations, surrounding yourself only with people who believe in your success and who encourage your efforts toward achievement. Avoid like the plague those who doubt your abilities, question your goals, or suggest that failure is possible. Their negative influence can poison your mind faster than you might imagine, undermining the very foundation upon which your success consciousness is built. The person who acts as though failure were never an option takes complete responsibility for their results. They refuse to blame circumstances, other people, bad luck, or any external condition for temporary setbacks. They understand that they are the captain of their own ship, the master of their own fate, the architect of their own success or failure. This acceptance of complete personal responsibility is both liberating and empowering. When you accept complete responsibility for your results, you automatically begin looking for what you can do differently rather than for someone or something to blame. This redirects your mental energy from destructive criticism to constructive problem solving. Instead of wasting time and energy explaining why something cannot be done, you focus on finding ways to make it happen. The failure-proof mindset recognizes that every person is where they are and what they are because of the dominating thoughts they have held in their mind. Change your thoughts and you change your world. Think thoughts of success, abundance, and achievement, and your outer world will gradually conform to these inner images. Think thoughts of failure, lack, and limitation, and these too will manifest in your experience. This is why it is so crucial to guard your mind against negative influences and to feed it consistently with thoughts that support your success. You cannot afford the luxury of doubt, the indulgence of self-pity, or the poison of resentment. Your mind is too valuable and your goals too important to waste on such destructive emotions. Every thought you think is either moving you closer to your objectives or further away from them. The development of the failure-proof mindset requires daily practice and constant vigilance. You must examine every thought, every word, every action to ensure that it supports your success rather than undermining it. This may seem like a demanding discipline, but it is far less demanding than living a life of unfulfilled potential and constant struggle. Begin each day by reminding yourself of your definite major purpose and renewing your faith in its achievement. End each day by reviewing your progress and planning the next day's activities. Keep your mind constantly occupied with thoughts and activities that move you closer to your goals, leaving no room for negative emotions or destructive thinking. The person who truly acts as though failure were never an option develops what might be called an immunity to discouragement. Temporary setbacks that would devastate the average person barely register in their consciousness. They possess such complete faith in their ultimate success that no external circumstance can shake their inner certainty. This immunity to discouragement is perhaps the most valuable asset a person can develop. This immunity is not developed overnight, but gradually built through consistent practice and repeated demonstration that setbacks are indeed temporary. Each time you persist through difficulty and emerge stronger on the other side, you add another layer to your immunity. Each time you find benefit in adversity, you strengthen your conviction that failure is impossible for those who refuse to accept it. The greatest enemy of success is not external opposition, but internal doubt. The person who acts as though failure were never an option has learned to silence the voice of doubt before it can gain a foothold in consciousness. They understand that doubt is like a virus that can quickly spread throughout the mental system, destroying confidence and paralyzing action. When doubt attempts to enter your mind, you must immediately counter it with positive affirmations of your inevitable success. Refuse to entertain thoughts of limitation or impossibility. Fill your mind so completely with thoughts of achievement that doubt cannot find space to exist. Remember that you become what you think about most of the time, so think only of success, abundance, and achievement. The power of definiteness of purpose cannot be overstated in the development of the failure-proof mindset. When you know exactly what you want and are committed to its achievement regardless of obstacles, your mind becomes like a powerful lens that focuses all your energies upon your chosen objective. Scattered energy accomplishes nothing, but focused energy can move mountains. Without definiteness of purpose, you are like a ship without a rudder, at the mercy of every wind and current. But with a clear, definite goal firmly fixed in your mind, you become like a guided missile, automatically correcting course when necessary, but always moving toward your target. Obstacles may slow your progress, but cannot stop it, because your destination is so clear and your commitment so strong that deviation is impossible. The person with definite purpose attracts to themselves everything necessary for the achievement of that purpose. This is not magic, but the natural operation of a law as reliable as the law of gravity. When your purpose is definite and your faith in its achievement is unwavering, you create a mental magnetism that draws to you the people, circumstances, and opportunities needed for success. You must write your definite major purpose in clear, specific terms, read it aloud twice daily, and visualize its achievement as already accomplished. This daily practice programs your subconscious mind to work continuously toward the fulfillment of your desires. Your subconscious mind never sleeps and never stops working on whatever problem or goal you give it to solve or achieve. The failure-proof mindset understands that there is a vast difference between wishing for something and definitely deciding to have it. Wishes are weak and powerless, easily overcome by the first obstacle or opposition. But definite decisions backed by unwavering faith become irresistible forces that sweep all obstacles aside. When you definitely decide that something will be yours and back that decision with persistent action, the entire universe seems to conspire to help you achieve it. This conspiracy of the universe is not supernatural, but perfectly natural. When you are definitely committed to an objective, you automatically become more alert to opportunities that support its achievement. You notice possibilities that were always there, but which your unfocused mind had previously overlooked. You attract people who can help you because your definite purpose gives them something concrete to support. Most people fail to achieve their goals not because the goals are impossible, but because they are not willing to do the inner work necessary for success. They want the outer rewards without making the inner changes. But success demands growth, and growth requires change. The person who acts as though failure were never an option embraces change as a natural and necessary part of the success process. The power of persistence cannot be overstated in developing and maintaining the failure-proof mindset. Persistence is to success what carbon is to steel. It transforms ordinary effort into extraordinary achievement. The person who persists in the face of obstacles, setbacks, and temporary defeats will eventually overcome all opposition and achieve their objectives. Most people give up just before their breakthrough. They persist until the going gets difficult, then abandon their efforts just when success is within reach. The person with the failure-proof mindset understands that the darkest hour is just before the dawn, that the greatest victories are often achieved just beyond the point where most people give up. Persistence is not mere stubborn repetition of ineffective actions, but intelligent perseverance that learns from each setback and adjusts strategy while maintaining unwavering commitment to the ultimate objective. True persistence combines flexibility in methods with firmness in purpose, adaptability in approach with inflexibility in determination. You must develop persistence as a habit, training yourself to continue when others quit, to press forward when others retreat, to maintain faith when others doubt. This habit of persistence will serve you not only in achieving your current goals, but in every future endeavor you undertake. Once you develop the reputation for persistence, opportunities will seek you out because people know you will follow through. The person who acts as though failure were never an option has learned to use their imagination as a powerful tool for success. They regularly visualize their goals as already achieved, experiencing in their mind the emotions and satisfactions that will come with success. This mental rehearsal programs the subconscious mind for success and creates a magnetic attraction that draws the desired results into reality. Imagination is the workshop of the mind where all achievements are first created. Before anything becomes a physical reality, it must first exist as a mental image. The person with the failure-proof mindset spends time daily creating detailed mental pictures of their desired outcomes, making these images so vivid and real that they begin to manifest in the outer world. This is not idle daydreaming, but purposeful mental activity that harnesses one of the most powerful forces available to human beings. When you consistently hold clear mental images of your desired achievements, your subconscious mind accepts these images as instructions and begins working to make them real. Every great achievement in history began as someone's mental image. You must learn to use your imagination constructively rather than destructively. Many people use their imagination to worry about what might go wrong, to picture worst-case scenarios, to visualize failure and defeat. This destructive use of imagination creates fear, doubt, and limitation. But when you use your imagination to picture success, to visualize achievement, to see yourself overcoming obstacles, you harness this power for constructive purposes. The development of faith is perhaps the most crucial element in creating the failure-proof mindset. Faith is the confidence that your desires will be fulfilled, the certainty that your efforts will be crowned with success, the unwavering belief that your goals are not only possible but inevitable. Without faith, all other success principles lose their power. Faith is not passive hope, but active expectation. It is the firm conviction that your success is guaranteed, not because of luck or favorable circumstances, but because you have aligned yourself with the principles that govern all achievement. Faith gives you the courage to take action despite uncertainty, the strength to persist despite obstacles, the wisdom to find opportunity in adversity. True faith is based not on wishful thinking, but on understanding of natural law. When you understand that success comes to those who apply the right principles in the right way, you can have faith in your inevitable achievement because you know you are working with forces that never fail. This faith becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, creating the very conditions it believes in. You must feed your faith daily through study of success principles, association with successful people, and contemplation of your inevitable achievement. Faith grows through exercise just like a muscle grows through use. Each time you act on faith despite uncertainty, each time you persist despite obstacles, each time you find good in apparent evil, your faith grows stronger. The person who truly acts as though failure were never an option has learned to see every experience as education, every setback as set up for a comeback, every obstacle as an opportunity in disguise. They understand that the Creator has designed the universe so that everything works together for good for those who maintain the right mental attitude and apply the right principles. This perspective transforms every experience into a stepping stone to greater success. Problems become puzzles to be solved. Obstacles become challenges to be overcome. Failures become learning experiences that prepare you for greater achievements. When you adopt this perspective, you realize that everything that happens to you is actually happening for you. The cultivation of this perspective requires practice and discipline. Your natural tendency may be to see problems as punishments, obstacles as evidence that your goals are impossible, failures as proof that you are not capable of success. But you must train yourself to see the hidden benefits, the concealed opportunities, the disguised blessings in every experience. This training begins with the conscious decision to look for good in every situation, to seek the lesson in every setback, to find the opportunity in every obstacle. At first, this may seem forced or artificial, but with practice, it becomes natural and automatic. Eventually, you will automatically see the positive potential in any situation, no matter how negative it may appear on the surface. The cultivation of unwavering optimism is fundamental to the development of the failure-proof mindset. Optimism is not blind faith or ignorant hopefulness, but rather the intelligent recognition that every problem contains within itself the seeds of its own solution. The optimistic person understands that temporary setbacks are merely stepping stones to greater achievements, that every closed door leads to an open window of opportunity. True optimism is based upon the understanding that the universe operates according to definite laws, and that these laws always work in favor of those who align themselves with them. When you understand these laws and apply them consistently, you can be optimistic about your eventual success because you know you are working with forces that never fail to produce results when properly applied. The optimistic person maintains their positive outlook not because they are unaware of difficulties and challenges, but because they understand that these temporary conditions are powerless to permanently defeat anyone who refuses to accept defeat. They know that every problem is temporary, every obstacle is surmountable, every defeat is merely a setup for a greater comeback. You must train yourself to maintain optimism even in the face of temporary adversity. This requires constant vigilance over your thoughts and deliberate choice of mental attitudes. When negative circumstances arise, immediately remind yourself that this too shall pass, that every cloud has a silver lining, that every ending is a new beginning in disguise. The power of gratitude in developing the failure-proof mindset cannot be underestimated. Gratitude is the recognition that you already possess many blessings and advantages, creating a mental atmosphere that attracts even greater good into your life. The person who is grateful for what they have opens the channels for receiving more, while the person who focuses on what they lack closes these channels. Gratitude transforms your entire perspective on life. Instead of focusing on what is missing, you focus on what is present. Instead of dwelling on problems, you appreciate solutions. Instead of feeling victimized by circumstances, you feel blessed by opportunities. This shift in perspective automatically elevates your mental vibration and attracts more positive experiences. The practice of gratitude should be cultivated as a daily habit. Each morning, acknowledge the blessings in your life, no matter how small they may seem. Each evening, give thanks for the progress you have made, the lessons you have learned, and the opportunities that have presented themselves. This practice conditions your mind to notice and appreciate the good that is constantly flowing into your experience. Gratitude also extends to apparent setbacks and disappointments. When you can genuinely give thanks for challenges because you understand they are strengthening your character and preparing you for greater success, you have achieved a level of consciousness that makes failure impossible. This level of gratitude transforms every experience into a blessing and every obstacle into an opportunity. The development of mental toughness is essential for maintaining the failure-proof mindset in the face of opposition and adversity. Mental toughness is the ability to maintain your positive mental attitude and unwavering faith regardless of external circumstances. It is the inner strength that allows you to persist when others quit, to remain calm when others panic, to find solutions when others see only problems. Mental toughness is not innate but developed through practice and experience. Each time you face a challenge and overcome it, you build mental muscle. Each time you maintain your composure under pressure, you strengthen your psychological foundation. Each time you refuse to give up when others would quit, you develop the mental fortitude that separates champions from average performers. The mentally tough person understands that external circumstances have no power to determine their internal state unless they allow it. They maintain control over their thoughts, emotions, and reactions regardless of what is happening around them. This internal control gives them tremendous power because they are no longer at the mercy of external conditions. You can develop mental toughness by deliberately placing yourself in challenging situations and refusing to back down. Start with small challenges and gradually work your way up to larger ones. Each victory, no matter how small, builds confidence and strengthens your belief in your ability to overcome any obstacle. This process gradually transforms you into someone who thrives on challenges rather than being intimidated by them. The importance of developing a long-term perspective cannot be overstated in building the failure-proof mindset. Most people focus on immediate results and become discouraged when they don't see instant success. But the person who acts as though failure were never an option understands that great achievements take time and that patience is a vital ingredient in lasting success. The long-term perspective allows you to maintain your enthusiasm and effort even when immediate results are not visible. You understand that success is like compound interest. It builds slowly at first but accelerates dramatically over time. Each day's effort may seem insignificant, but when accumulated over months and years, these efforts create extraordinary results. This perspective also helps you maintain emotional equilibrium during temporary setbacks. When you know that your ultimate success is inevitable and that you have plenty of time to achieve it, temporary delays and obstacles don't disturb your peace of mind. You simply adjust your approach and continue moving forward, knowing that persistence over time conquers all resistance. The cultivation of a long-term perspective requires daily reminder of your ultimate objectives and the patience to allow natural forces to work in your favor. You must resist the temptation to seek quick fixes or instant gratification, understanding that anything worth achieving requires time, effort, and persistence. This patience becomes a source of strength rather than frustration when you truly understand its power. The role of continuous learning in developing the failure-proof mindset is absolutely critical. The person who stops learning stops growing, and the person who stops growing starts dying. Success requires constant adaptation to changing conditions, and this adaptation is only possible through continuous acquisition of new knowledge and skills. The successful person is always a student, always seeking to improve their understanding and capabilities. They read extensively, seek out mentors and advisors, attend educational events, and constantly look for ways to expand their knowledge. This commitment to learning keeps their mind sharp and their skills current, ensuring they remain competitive in an ever-changing world. Continuous learning also builds confidence and self-reliance. The more you know, the more capable you feel of handling whatever challenges may arise. Knowledge reduces fear and uncertainty, replacing them with confidence and clarity. When you know you have the tools to handle any situation, you naturally develop the fearless attitude that characterizes those who act as though failure were never an option. You must make learning a lifelong habit, setting aside time each day for study and improvement. Read books related to your field. Study the lives of successful people. Learn new skills that can help you achieve your objectives. This investment in yourself pays dividends far beyond any other investment you can make because it increases your capacity to create value and achieve success. The power of modeling successful people cannot be underestimated in developing your own failure-proof mindset. Throughout history, those who have achieved great success have provided blueprints that others can follow. By studying their methods, adopting their strategies, and emulating their mental attitudes, you can dramatically accelerate your own progress toward success. Success leaves clues, and these clues are available to anyone willing to look for them. The successful person in any field has typically overcome the same obstacles and solved the same problems that you currently face. By learning how they did it, you can save yourself years of trial and error and avoid many costly mistakes. The process of modeling begins with identifying people who have achieved what you want to achieve. Study their biographies, read their books, analyze their strategies, and understand their mindset. Look for patterns in their thinking and behavior that you can adapt to your own situation. Pay particular attention to how they handled setbacks and maintained their motivation during difficult times. However, modeling is not mere imitation, but intelligent adaptation. You must take the principles and strategies that successful people have used and adapt them to your own unique circumstances and objectives. The goal is not to become a copy of someone else, but to develop your own version of the success principles that have worked for others. The importance of maintaining physical health in supporting the failure-proof mindset is often overlooked but absolutely essential. Your mind and body are interconnected, and your mental clarity and emotional stability are directly affected by your physical condition. When you feel strong and energetic physically, you naturally feel more confident and capable mentally. Regular exercise not only maintains physical fitness, but also builds mental toughness and discipline. The person who can push through physical discomfort and maintain a consistent exercise routine is developing the same qualities needed to persist through mental and emotional challenges. Exercise also releases natural chemicals that improve mood and reduce stress, creating the optimal mental state for success. Proper nutrition is equally important in maintaining the energy and mental clarity needed for peak performance. Your brain requires proper fuel to function at its highest level, and poor nutrition can cloud your thinking and drain your energy. The person serious about success treats their body like a high-performance machine, providing it with the best possible fuel. Adequate rest is also crucial for maintaining the mental sharpness and emotional stability required for the failure-proof mindset. When you are tired, you are more susceptible to negative emotions and poor decisions. The successful person understands that rest is not a luxury, but a necessity for peak performance. The development of spiritual strength provides the ultimate foundation for the failure-proof mindset. When you understand that you are connected to an infinite source of power and wisdom, you naturally develop the confidence and faith necessary for extraordinary achievement. This spiritual connection provides an unshakable foundation that no external circumstance can disturb.